The club at Savannah Harbor has seen better days, at least on this occasion when I played. As you can see, the course is unfortunately dried out due to the water system malfunctioning before I arrived, and this is the aftermath. Designed by Bob Cupp and the legendary Sam Snead, when this course is in peak season, it really shines as one of the best courses to play in the Savannah area. Despite the dried out fairways and extremely fast greens, I still love playing this course. At the end of the day, you have to play the elements that are given to you. So let's head to the first tee and see how I play in these conditions. The first hole is a short par 4. Depending on what tees you're playing at, those fairway bunkers do come into play, so I would try to avoid hitting past them. The approach shot into the green is a little tricky with a ball sack type green. Pin is on the left ball. I'm going with driver here since I'm into wind. A good tee shot will leave me a wedge in. Nice little cut down the center of the fairway. Despite the conditions, at least I received a winter rate, which was a pretty good deal at $50. I'm going with the gap wedge here because I didn't think I'd have enough mustard with the sand wedge. Turns out I would have more than enough as I went over the back. Chipping off of this weird lie, the ball is below my feet. Good contact. Got an extra camera angle here. The only time I'd be able to do it on this course. A lot of singles out today, which is kind of weird. There was no pairings, just a bunch of introverts. The greens on this day were insanely slick. I'm guessing that had to do with not being able to seed the greens because they had no water. The second hole is a long par 4. You can see the Talmadge Memorial Bridge just over my left shoulder. A lot of real estate to work with here, a large fairway. Unfortunately, I pulled that left. It was headed right for the fairway bunkers, but somehow my ball landed in this inlet. Ball is below my feet, so I'm thinking the ball will leak a little right. Ah yes, I love the old pull draw off a fade lie. It was good contact though, I'm just pin high. The difference between hitting a ball out of the rough is so much different in the south compared to the northeast. The grass is so squirrely that it makes you want to put more on it, and that is something I struggled with in my last round, was landing the ball in the landing zone, leaving me above the hole quite often. I'm a little afraid of the speed, and I left that a little short and right, but tap in for the bogey. We'll move to the third hole, the longest par 3 on the course. This is 208 yards. That is a hybrid. And that is a ball flight of a man who swung a little too hard.
Alright, this is such a long hole.
A long hole that leaves me 50 yards left of the green. Pretty good chip, but look at this run out. I mean, I clipped it well, got some height on it, and the rollout just all the way to the back of the green. I'm putting uphill, but in my mind, I'm like, this is so fast. I just need to kind of gently guide it there. And I came up 5 feet short. This is a long bogey putt. Great read and just lipped the left edge. Not the kind of start I was looking for as I head to the fourth tee. I'm going with 3-wood and I'm glad I did. I pulled that left, and if that was driver, that would be out of bounds. But with the 3-wood, I am in play. This can be a difficult par 5. There's bunkers on the right side, so I'm aiming up the left-hand side of the fairway. Pretty decent contact. I caught it a little heavy, but it will leave me just 116 yards in. That is a 9-iron. I couldn't really see the flag, as you can tell. There's a hazard in front of me, and there's a bunker beyond that. So this requires a good strike, and that's exactly what I did. I pulled it a little left, as usual, but I found the dance floor, but I am above the hole, and take a look at how fast this putt was. Just skated right on by.
Golfer's note. Be below the hole. Here.
And I forgot to mention, when I showed up to the course, I saw in one of the rental sets the same exact model putter I have at home. So I asked if I could use it, and they graciously let me use it for the round. It was so much better than the Seymour putter that I've been using. Odyssey putters, in my opinion, are far superior to any other model that's out there right now. And believe me, I've used a lot of putters out there in my time. The fifth hole is a dogleg left par 4. Trying to take it over that fairway bunker that you see on the left-hand side. If you hit it too far right, you'll be in the right-hand side of the fairway bunker.
Okay, so I learned my lesson from the previous 4 holes. You want to stay below the hole, because if you're above the hole, the ball will run out. And you're just going to keep ending up 3-putting. That's not what you want to do in this game. So I have 92 yards. I have a gap wedge into wind. It's going to be a 3/4 swing. Just keep it below the hole.
So you heard the thought process. I have good alignment right here. taking dead aim of the flag. Great contact.
I think that's above the hole. Shit. That was a good strike, though.
So I failed to keep it below the hole, but I have about a 6-footer for birdie.
Go in. No way. No fucking way.
I don't know how that putt stopped short of going in. It just needed one more rotation. With the course backed up with a lot of solo players, a golfer behind me decided to join forces as I teed off the 6. That is the shot shape you want on this hole. It's a dogleg right. And to me, the hardest hole on the front 9, and it's because of this approach shot right here. It's pretty much a peninsula green surrounded by hazard everywhere. And I was so non-committed to that shot. I guess it was a nice layup as my ball found some standing water.
Gotta hit it. Go.
It was good contact off that tight lie, but I just didn't put enough mustard on it. Got a long look here for par. Pretty good roll. Came up just a tad short. Tap in for bogey. The 7th is a par 5, and heed my advice when I say aim as far left of the fairway as possible from the tee box. This force carry is not as long as it looks. If you push it right, there's a good chance it goes OB.
That's pretty good.
I thought this was on a great line, but it barely stayed in. And because this hole is so long at 600 yards, I should be hitting a 3-wood here. Fortunately, my window is a little bit narrow because I was blocked out from the trees. I got back onto the fairway, but I am still 218 yards out. Usually that's a hybrid. I went with the 4-iron here because of the lie. It was kind of on the fairway and on the rough. So I pretty much laid up twice on this hole. That is a sand wedge from 84 yards. Good contact. Going straight for the pin.
Thank you.
This could be one hell of an up and down. If I get a par here on the 7th, it could really save my round. But unfortunately, it would have to put another square on the scorecard as we move to the 8th. And yet again, another forced carry on this par 3. That is an 8-iron. I tell you, this course is not easy. Especially in the summertime. I played in the summertime. There was a lot, and I mean a lot of wind. Today was a little bit more tamer. Wind wasn't really a factor. The only real factor are the conditions.
Oh, nice. Oh, did you see that hit the... Not a little.
I don't know what it nicked. It didn't look like sand. Great birdie opportunity. Goes wasted, but hey, at least I got a par. Only the 2nd par on the round. We move to the 9th hole. You can see the Westin Hotel in the background. I should have been aiming off of the left edge of the building. Instead, I'm aiming up the tree line. That is a bold strategy. Did not work out. Found myself supplanted under a tree. Need to take this low. That was an 8-iron. Abbreviated swing. And what a shot it was.
Thank you.
I have about 10 feet for birdie. That was a little defensive putt there. Not a good mindset when the thought process is try to get it near the hole instead of getting it in the hole. Either way, that is back-to-back pars as I finish the front 9, 7 over 43. I got off to a pretty slow start but finished with 3 pars on the last 5 holes. Inconsistency has been the theme as of now, so let's see if I can continue the par train as we head to the back 9. The par 4 10th is one of the easier holes on the course. Just avoid the fairway bunker on the right. It's your choice whether or not to use the big dog or to lay up with a 3-wood. The green is large, but the pin on this day is tucked on the left, guarded by a bunker. Going with driver here. Closed the club face a little too early on impact. The ball was starting those trees on the left side, but I came up just short of them. I have just enough of a window to go at this pin. That is a 9-iron.
Gotta go. Oh, it got on. Whew.
Not the best contact, but I avoided the bunker. I hit the front of the green and it rolled to the back, so I am pin high, putting for birdie.
All right, good roll. Just tapping it.
The 11th is a pretty straight par 5. For some reason, my feet are aligned with the fairway bunkers on the left. Thankfully, I wasn't even close to reaching the bunkers. Laying up here with a 4-iron.
I knew I was going to do that. Yeah, but I was going to knuckle.
Not really great contact there. At the driving range, I was working on trying to compress my 4-iron a little more to get a lower ball flight. It was working well at the range, but not here though. I did keep it low, which is a positive, but I hit 2 inches behind the ball, and I am 40 yards short of the hole. I kind of stubbed that pitch shot, pulled it left, but with no spin on the ball, it rolled out to about 20 feet from the pin. You can see that right to left swing on this putt. For a mid-handicapper, I'd say that is a pretty decent lag putt. We tap in for bogey, move to the 12th once again. For some reason, I am aiming up the left-hand side of the fairway. And where I aim is exactly where I hit it. As I mentioned earlier, it is not easy hitting off of this squirrely lie. It's a lot more buried than it looks. But that was good contact with the 7-iron. Hooking a little left, but I found the apron. The putt broke early off of contact, but snaked its way back towards the hole. Another solid putt. Looks like I'm getting the pace of the greens down. Move to the 13th hole. The alignment looks much better on this tee shot. However, the shot shape was less than ideal. That was a very spinny fade.
That one's fine. I wouldn't change your ball flight. That works for you.
Yeah. Alright, so I was kind of dicking around with my swing during the practice range, trying to compress it, hit down more with this 4-iron. It was working really well at the practice range, but it's not working well now, so I'm just going to revert back to what I normally do.
I think it goes to show if something is working, don't change it. Just because I hit my 4-iron the same height as my pitching wedge, why should I change my swing if I'm hitting it straight?
Oh, sit down a little bit.
I flushed that 9-iron but overdrew it a bit, and there's not much room if you miss left. However, I got the thumbs up. It stayed in play.
Yeah, that would be called ground under repair.
Yeah, definitely.
I was fortunate enough to find the only wet spot on this course. Only reason why my ball's in play. But the lie still isn't great, and I kind of duffed that chip.
Stay there.
The putt is breaking to my left, so I'm aiming outside right edge. Kind of a bad bogey on an easy par 5, but we move to an easy par 4. It's very short at 292 yards. The only difficulty is how narrow the fairway is.
It's so high in the air, it's just sit. Yep, stop bouncing.
I missed the fairway, but I have just a wedge in. That is a sand wedge. Great contact off that lie.
Felt good.
Nice shot.
Thank you.
It was a great shot. I put it to 6 feet, and I have another good attempt at making birdie.
Yes, there we go.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
The 15th is an uphill par 3. According to the handicap, it is the easiest hole on the course. After making birdie on the previous hole, one would hope to find the dance floor, but I pulled it left.
I never wanted to play this one.
I have a lot of green to work with, and I launched that chip high into the air. Landed very softly. Was hoping it would roll out a little bit more. Leaves me with a 6-footer for par.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well.
Hit it.
Perhaps I was putting into the green. I'm not really good enough to decipher whether I am or not. The 16th is one of the longer par 4s on the course. It is a dogleg left, so if you can cut the corner like I did there, you'll have a shorter approach at the pin. I'm 137 yards in. That is an 8-iron. Probably the best contact I've made all day with an iron. However, I pulled it towards the bunker. I was hoping it went over the bunker, but I guess there was more hurting wind than I thought, and I have this terrible fried egg of a lie. The best way to hit a fried egg lie is to close the club face and just whack the hell out of it. That was a great shot considering I was short-sighted, and this would probably be the best up and down of the trip if I can make this in.
Good line.
It's a good line. I left it short and right. Tap in for the bogey. The 17th is a long par 3, wind slightly in. I'm hitting 4-iron.
That was great.
That ball is on a great line, tracking right at the pin.
4-iron.
I was just hoping as soon as I said that was great that it wasn't just going to take a dive into the water. That was perfect, man.
If I can figure out how to keep the ball under the wind, my proximity to the hole would be so much better than what it is now.
I'm hitting the line perfectly and I'm not putting enough on it.
Still blaming the first 3 holes.
The fairway at 18 has a small landing zone with fairway bunkers perfectly situated on both sides. It will take a great tee shot. And if you find the fairway, the green is rather large, so going out on a par is a great outcome. I am loving that slide pause at the top of the backswing.
Don't go in that bunker.
I think you're good.
Unfortunately, I did find that bunker on the left, and I have to contend with this massive lip. But thankfully, I skyrocket my iron shot, so I was able to clear the lip.
That's short.
I just didn't have enough to get onto the green, so I'm chipping here, and that chip shot came off way too hot. I am begging it for it to slow down. Thankfully, I am still on the green, putting for par.
Doesn't turn.
Does not turn.
I nestled that close to the hole. Tap in for bogey,
Gentlemen, thank you.
It was
Yeah,
great
it's good
playing,
playing
guys.
with you.
and I finished the back 9 4 over 40 for a final score of 83. Looking deeper into the numbers, and despite them being a little worse, my putter didn't let me down as it did on the front 9, as the greens felt a little more receptive on the back. As for the course, well, don't let the aerials detract you from going. This was shot back in January. I imagine they are getting some life back into the fairways now that we are in the spring. I really enjoy the layout of this course. Practice facilities are also top notch. So if you're in Savannah, definitely give this course a chance. You will not regret it. Hopefully.